Hey, everybody. I'm really excited because my dear friend Marcie Hodge is back. It has been a long time. Marcie, it is great to see you. And I have to say, you look like Jennifer Holliday. You look fantastic. You
Oh,
look great.
why, thank you.
Very,
I appreciate it.
are you, I mean, no, please don't take my next question the wrong way, but are you doing something fashion related? Is that, I mean, you look like you're ready to go on the Vogue runway. What's going on?
Oh, no, this is my regular look. Kind of like how I look every day.
Oh, hey, there you go. There you go. So, you're running for the Oakland City Council at-large seat.
Mm-hmm.
And last time you ran for, you ran for Oakland City Council at-large last time. Now you're running for
4 years ago. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What was it? First of all, catch us up on where you've been since you last ran. And then what was the aha moment that made you decide to step in the ring again?
Well, I've been working. I run residential programs here in Oakland. We work with the developmentally disabled kids, particularly through the county and the regional center. And I've been in business now 16 years.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from that, assisting and helping my mom here in Oakland, that I've been a member of since I was born. She's been passed on for 50 years. And I am now the assistant pastor for Mission Church, which is also in East Oakland.
Okay.
With that, I'm sitting on different committees. One of which is PVAC, which is the provider vendor program. I sit on a committee with different agencies. So I've been doing a lot of work. I've been developmentally disabled vendors, particularly Black and brown vendors who many of us have businesses. We have found it really challenging with receiving referral away with some of our counterparts now.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been busy working with different neighborhood groups, help kind of clean up our neighborhoods because I have different houses in the area here. Six, and then another off of 102nd, which is a crisis. There's that I've been working on here in the city, and want to see District 7 particularly improve itself.
Okay, I'm gonna take you off airplane because there's a feedback there that I'm not happy with. So you don't have to do anything. Okay. I'm just gonna push this button and shift it back to the computer because it's not. I'm getting feedback I don't like. So give me 1 second there. Here, and you can still hear me, yes?
Sure can.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so now we're back to that one, and continue. I'll turn it up so that our audience can hear it better. Okay, cool. Now let's talk about that aha moment. Let's talk about the moment where you said, you know what? I believe I can be the best representative for Oakland City Council District 7. When was that precise moment?
It's after the last election, I figured that probably would be my last time. But I was talking with a friend, and we were talking about the upcoming election, and I hadn't even paid attention to when paperwork needed to be pulled or what have you. But after that conversation, we talked about how we aren't seeing any movement towards change. So once I hung up, it's just something just said to me, Marcie, you need to put your name on the roll. So I shifted into a different mindset and decided, why don't I get out there and at the very least participate in the discussion of how we need to move the city forward. Mm-hmm. We've lost just in the last 2 times that I've ran for District 7. In 2016, we did have at least 3 teams here.
Yeah.
Now yeah, 8 years later, we're looking at zero.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had the A's, we had the Raiders, the Warriors and the A's, and don't forget the Oakland Panthers, which became the Bay Area Panthers, indoor football league.
Yeah.
So, and then I've discovered that we lost 20% of our business base over the last 2 years.
Yeah, I can believe it.
20%.
I can believe it.
What's going on, Marcie?
Trajectory. We really are on a down trajectory, and we've been that way for some time. I know even when my brother ran, I was looking at some of his literature the other day. Yeah. I believe that was like 2004.
Mm-hmm.
Even then, he felt we need new representation, and he was a real mover and shaker.
Oh, yeah.
And just drive. I mean, it's problematic for me to go from here to San Leandro to Hayward, and there is a major shift between the cities. They have, of course, their level of homelessness and some blight, but it's not at the level in which Oakland has to deal with, most especially District 7. And so it really bothers me when I am having to go to San Leandro, to our next door, to, patronize their businesses and give them my tax money. It's a problem when I drive to Walnut Creek, and I just feel like a weight almost is lifted off of me, because it's like, wow.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate, and we have to do something different, much different.
And not only that, I'll tack Hayward onto that, because their economic development effort is impressive. And every time I turn around, the director there is putting on LinkedIn a grand opening of a Pollo Loco, which, by the way, has some great food, or or another type of small business. And I'm thinking, that could be Oakland. That could be Oakland. That could be Oakland. Yeah. And you never see anybody from economic development department presenting anything.
No, it's sad. And it's at this point very depressing to see businesses close, to see that there is just a movement downwards and it's not moving upwards. So there's not even an opportunity to try and almost feel like we can grasp at some possibility of change.
Right.
So that's why I decided to run. There's got to be something. And I think we're in a time now where I was talking with a friend, and I said, there's a season that we're in where across industries, the political realms, you're seeing people who have been in seats for a long time. It's transitioning. And I think it's our opportunity to maximize those transitions and put people in place that will actually work for the people, and do something different.
What's the cornerstone message of your campaign?
That I believe in Oakland, and that we can do far better than where we have been.
And why do you believe? Let me put it this way, put it entirely the other way. I'm going to ask you just a very simple question. What the hell happened? Okay. What the hell happened to the city?
I think what we've had is politicians that have been looking to come into Oakland to use it as a linchpin to another office. We've had people in office who...
Who are you talking about, Marcie? Come on, fill in the blank.
We've had a lot of people.
Name. I want names. Give me names. Does it start with a J?
Well, yeah. I mean, Jerry Brown, he came and surveyed to see if his access point would be to Oakland or to San Francisco. And he found that Oakland would be a better stepping stone to, become governor again. And, Jerry Brown, I like Jerry Brown. He did some really good work. I think he showed us what can be done if you really push. He's had some political capital, of course. But he did show us that oftentimes there might be policies or barriers in place that you can really push beyond and get what you want for your city. But again, he used it as a way to move into the governor's office.
Right.
He also took away the revitalization dollars that I think Oakland would definitely benefit from if we still had that. And he just took it across the state. He just had to, utilize that during that 2008 crisis. So there are a lot of people that we've seen who have come and who have left Oakland, and residents feel like Oakland has been up for sale.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to sell the place, at least give us some kind of benefit to sell.
Give us some residual dollars, right?
Yeah.
Some profit.
When I was a reporter for the Tri-Valley area, when I got out of college, there was just land at that place, in Pleasanton and Dublin and different areas. When you go there now, they have housing. They have totally just changed the whole landscape of Pleasanton, and they've brought in more residents. They bring in their businesses. They know what they have a master plan and they stick to it. That's not what we do in Oakland. If you go to San Ramon, I remember there were times where I would cover San Ramon and they were building out, San Ramon areas. And one of the things I remember, I talked to one of the city council persons. He said, no, if you come here and build, you got to give us a school. You can't just come here and build, and develop and bring in 100 or 50 families or 200, and then you don't provide us with an elementary school that you're going to build. I said, really? I said, wow, that's novel. And even from there, just covering those areas as they just kind of transformed and expanded themselves in terms of providing more housing for residents. I was like, they don't let you come into their cities and you not repave the roads. You don't come in there and you don't leave them with one particular school that now has doubled, the population of their census. No, you come in there and you give them, you benefit from the development, but you also have to leave something there for them. And that's not what we do here in Oakland. You can come here, get what you want, and then leave.
Yep.
And that's got to change because, I mean, this is a magnificent city with a lot of history, a lot of cultural diversity, and there's just no reason for us to be in this position.
Yeah, and I want to get your feedback on this thought I have. In allowing our businesses to die, we've allowed, since many of them, well, all of them that I think of, are small, independent firms or operations, restaurants. I had Miss Maturion, who's running for Oakland City Council at large. She owned the Spice Monkey. I don't know if you're ever.
Oh yeah, I love that place.
Right? Yeah. She's the owner, and I had her on, and she says, "I remember you because Phil Tagami brought you in, and that's how we met." After our interview, I called Phil and reminded him of that, and he got a chuckle out of it. But what, folks, if you've never been to the Spice Monkey, it was a one part restaurant, one part comedy shop, right? You listen to these performances. And I told her, I said, you know what? I'll bet you at least 2 marriages came out of this place. Right?
Yeah.
What are we doing, Marcie? It's gone.
Yeah.
It's the alley. The alley was broken into. My favorite place, the 3325 Grand Avenue, owned by my friend Jackie Simpkins, and broken into. And we haven't. What I say? What the hell is going on, Marcie?
One of the problems is we carry a mantle of anything goes. So people feel like they can come here and commit crimes. They won't be pursued because the police force has boundaries around them where they can't really police like their expertise would tell them to. We have problems with not prosecuting people who come in and commit crimes. So people feel like if I come, they're not going to chase me. It's like, why wouldn't I go to Oakland? Yeah. Let's go to Oakland, everybody from different states, from different cities, and they come here, they commit crime, and then they leave.
It makes it harder to kind of catch them if they just sort of take off, right?
Yeah. And if I were a business with, a storefront, I'm in residential programs, but if I were a storefront, I would have saw the writing on the wall and hurried up and got out of here.
Wow.
Because you
Wow.
know what to anticipate.
Wow.
You can have cameras and eyewitnesses, and it just is a feeling that if they catch you, they're going to release you the next day.
Yeah.
So
hey, here comes the problem again.
We've got some real structural problems. We need to send the message that we are about enforcing our laws, and that you can't come here and commit crimes and then just walk away.
Right.
I was telling the story about when during the pandemic, when we were kind of getting out of the pandemic, they went, of course, it was a big news story. They went into Walnut Creek and broke into Nordstrom's. The very next day, my mother and I had to go out there. So my mother rode out there with me. When we got off that freeway, the police were sitting on either side of those streets to let you know that if you're coming in here from Oakland, we're ready for you. You're not going to come in here and just, you're not coming in here. We're going to create a perimeter, and we're going to stop you from coming in here and, creating fear and a culture of anything.
I love a picture, I just love to see a picture. That just, wow. I'm sorry, you're saying.
I mean, well, here in Oakland, I'm here at the residential program now. I can go stand on International and watch probably 20 or 30 cars just run red lights.
My God, what is it that is also going on? Because I'm saying this in a disjointed way because I don't want to give up the name of the person I'm thinking of, but this is someone we know who lives off Keller, whose neighbor was the victim of something more than a home invasion. It was more like a home takeover. And called the cops because the person, one of three that did this, threatened to kill this person's husband and was literally terrorizing with the possibility of coming back.
Yeah.
And the neighbors, the people on the block knew about it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
The police were informed of it and yet did nothing. They could have apprehended this. What's going on? That's what I'm saying, Marcie. Why is it that we seem to have a bureaucracy that literally doesn't care?
Yeah, there is an agenda, I believe, to create a factor in which you lower the home prices so that people can come in and complete gentrification. Because
to later drive them up again.
Yeah, there's just no reason to sit in Oakland and think. You just let crime just kind of unfold and just become massive and just chaotic, and there's nothing you can do.
So you're telling me you think that there is a bigger market manipulating plot going on? Because that's what it is.
I think so, yeah. East Oakland is really your last vestige of affordable housing to a degree. And what we see here is I believe it's BRT. They've taken where you have the bus in the middle lanes. Lanes from 2 to 1.
Like bus light rail.
Yeah. And we were talking about how just at a forum I was at the other day about who is this for? It's not for us because we're in our cars. People don't necessarily feel safe we're not necessarily a walking neighborhood. It's not like you have people who are out here just kind of jogging around and, stopping at the local cafe. This is we're in neighborhoods where if I walk, then I have to be very mindful of my surroundings right now.
Right.
So why do we have this BRT that's running from almost at the corridor of San Leandro?
Yeah. And it's like a little, like, it really is like a rail, like
exactly.
You put BART in the middle of the street in a sense.
Right. So who is that for? Because the community didn't want it. We were dead set
I
against it.
remember. Right.
We
Right.
called our District 6 representative, District 7. There were businesses here who were letting them know, you're reducing the amount of foot traffic here. We're already, at a disadvantage. You're now taking away key parking spaces where from 2 lanes either way, now you're reducing us to 1.
Wow.
So sometimes we have to think, who is this for? But who's advocating for us? Who's our voice to say, no, you can't do this? Because we needed someone to be able to say, wait, we need to get members to come down to City Hall to let you all know to voice those opinions about, we're not going to do this. This is not for us. Take the money, the regional money, and give it back. But this is not for us. So there's opportunities that we've had that we've wasted. We have not been very friendly to small businesses.
No.
And that is really the base. That should be the base of our tax dollar and our revenue.
We act like we hate them. It's like, hey, go ahead and let them smash you upside your head or break it,
Absolutely.
or take a forklift and use it to break into your facade. A forklift,
Yeah, it's upsetting, and there just doesn't seem to be a master plan.
My mom just asked the question. She said, so who can stop it? Good question, Mom.
We need representation that is going to at least be a voice and bring people together so that, when I was on the Peralta board, if there was an issue that I felt very passionate about and I knew that I needed wind behind my back, I brought in people to come to that board meeting.
Yeah.
I would be like, this is what you need to say. These are the pros and the cons.
Right.
And that in itself could shift a vote where people would say, oh, okay, well, we've got quite a few community members here who are saying that they're opposed to this particularly, or they're for it. And that's how you begin to shift and change policies that negatively impact communities like District 7. Right. And you also need to, District 6 and 7 need to partner together on a lot of issues.
But in this discussion with respect to District 7, there's also the Black Economic Empowerment Zone, right?
Yes, yes.
What do you think about the program?
Well, they've almost allowed it to go dormant.
They said they had 100 million, or am I talking about a different program? I thought they had 100 million in East Oakland. They're going to focus on 50, all this big money, right? Big money, right?
You're talking about the group that purchased the Coliseum?
No, I'm not AASCG. This is another group that, if I can find them and search, they have been the focus of they had a kickoff, I would say about last fall. Yeah. And I would say BLA Camden 100 million. And then East Oakland. That. And here it is. It's on all the 3 nonprofit white medias. Hold on a second, which might be some clue as to what's going on here. But anyway, share screen right here. Yeah, see that? 100 million is coming to Oakland, right? KQED, okay? To deep East Oakland, which is a euphemism for black, right?
Right.
Right? I mean, let's face it.
Well, I've always wondered why people refer to East Oakland as deep, because I'm like, well, it's next door to Leandro. It's kind of like, right?
But you don't find anybody black writing that.
Yeah.
Honestly, okay? Look, this is Erica Cruz Guevara. Okay, all right? Alan Montecito and Jessica Carissa. All right? That's like 3 chefs in the kitchen. Anyway.
And I think that's a part of the plan in terms of the $100 million. Where is it going and who is it going to help? Is it going to help sustain the community, or is it to come here, polish it up, pave some streets, and prepare it for a transition, for additional gentrification? So we have to have someone that's going to be able to look at this, these challenges, because when they start dumping money into East Oakland, I think the community definitely needs to be keenly concerned about what's happening and who's behind those dollars.
Yeah, because they say, and it's that this is, you have all these different people, and they talk about, they spend a lot of time talking about who they are as reporters and all of this, but really not. All right, it says the money comes from a philanthropic venture called Blue Meridian Partners. People might have heard of them before because they're attached to a lot of other institutions and philanthropic projects. Hey, invest in Zennie62 Media. But anyway, specifically, they chose Deep East Oakland to set up this match of $50 million. So they basically said, yeah, that's what this headline says. So they basically said, if you can find $50 million through other partners, organizations, individuals, private institutions, we will match that $50 million. So that total pot is $100 million. Okay. And then it says, but the people really making the decisions on the ground is called, it should say are called, this collective of organizations called Rise East, which is housed under the 40 by 40 Council. So that's a couple of different Deep East Oakland organizations. And okay, so it sounds like a sort of a club. And then Black Cheryl Johnson is the CEO of the Black Culture Zone. You know about that, Marcie, right?
Yeah, the Culture Zone. Yeah.
You said, I believe that was almost forgotten, right? Now, pick up on that. What did you mean?
Well, even when we're kind of going to the different forums, you know, the focus has been on safety. It's been on economic revitalization, and it's been on blight and homelessness. And that's been the real focus. In terms of the cultural zone, it's something that you almost can't pay attention to that because of all the other burgeoning issues that are going on in terms, especially for safety.
Well, I'm glad you said that because I had an argument with somebody about that. That's all I'll say. I won't say who that person is or anything, but I explained to them that economic development is at the heart of our culture.
Yeah.
And yet we have not done business retention and retraction. You know about this. I would argue we haven't done it in 15 years. And it shows, you know, giving a grant to business, right?
Yeah.
Bringing a business in like I did with Cirque du Soleil, was partnered with Dixby's way back in '96, right? That sort of thing. You know, pick the business. We stopped doing that.
Yeah.
And these folks don't want to talk about it, which means we're never going to solve this problem for business, Marcie. I'm happy to be wrong. I understand that's why you're running. But
yeah, you know, I think that's why it's important to have business people on the board.
Yeah.
Because people, they've been more activists. We don't need activists. We need people who are going to develop good policy that will focus on revenue coming in and how much is going out. We need a stable city. We always talk about grocery stores not having enough. Grocery stores here in East Oakland. We need to focus on how do we keep the tax dollars here so that people who live in East Oakland aren't going outside to San Leandro to purchase or buy or bank in those areas. We don't have boutiques out here. You know, my grandparents used to always talk about the MacArthur corridor where you had many businesses up and down MacArthur. So we have to develop good relationships with our local businesses.
Go to sleep.
Got to pause there.
Oh my God, how embarrassing. My goodness, I really, I apologize, folks. It's been a long week.
It's a 3-hour time difference too.
Well, no, it's not that because that isn't even it. No, that isn't even it. It's just what I started thinking about in my my reverie that caused that. I was literally thinking about a part of seminary that was once bustling many decades ago and is now dead. And it's near 3039 Montecito, where Bruce Lee lived.
Okay.
Now, and that's like it's on the border between 6 and 7. It's actually in 7, right?
Mhm.
But the reason why I know that is because I lived there for almost 2 years.
Okay.
But I was thinking about how there used to be this great ice cream parlor, just walking distance, Lord's.
Mhm.
Because Lord's
Mhm.
had 2 there and over by Bret Hart, right?
Yes.
And now you
And
go over
they have
there.
one, yeah, definitely
Yeah,
off
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
center
And now you
behind
go
you.
over there and it is absolutely, awfully, tremendously decrepit.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, and this goes back to the economic development theme we're talking about. And, I have to be honest, I got so deep into my reverie, it turned into a dream. And then it turned into reality. And I realized I was asleep. I
Yes.
promise. That's what happened. I thought, holy cow. I mean, that's what happened because I've been talking about Oakland all day long. And it's, and all these different scenes with some really
Yeah.
incredible
Yeah.
folks, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, it just literally got into my cranium. And that was weird. I
Mm-hmm.
apologize. That was weird.
Well, talking about the decline of Oakland will either make you depressed, it'll make you sad, or it will just put you in a trance.
Well, it makes me cry because,
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but and what about you? What does it make you do?
It's for me, it's like to me, it's almost like we got to get other people, we've got to get other folks on the city council
Uh-huh.
to change. And I think there's a great group of people that are running and different for different seats. And of course, we've got 3 seats that are up. And I think it's going to give us an opportunity, hopefully, to bring in some folks with some business acumen
Mm-hmm.
and to actually not focus on trying to be a politician. Come in and do good work. And if you do good work and, because I don't believe in staying in office forever, I think 2 terms is enough. And I would say, and proof is in the pudding because I did only 2 terms on Peralta, and my
Right.
brother only did 2 terms in Oakland because we thoroughly believe that. How about you serve and then come out of that office and live under what you have created, the
Mm-hmm.
policies that you supported or pushed. Live like the regular folks that where we go downtown and there's hardly no parking spaces.
But I got to ask you a question. I think it's worth having you and your brother on at some point. Hey, maybe next week. Here's why I say that. Because you remember the
Well,
Oscar
my
grant?
brother, Jason passed in 2009.
Right. But I mean, I was thinking of Greg.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And the reason why I was thinking of Greg is because there is, well, you know what? I will play this for you.
Mhm.
Because you may not have seen it, but it is worth seeing.
Okay.
And it is with Greg, and it's during the Oscar Grant riots, and I literally ran into him. See here, Oscar Grant riot, and it was, let's see, Zennie62, and yeah, here it is, right here. And there's a part when I find it. Yeah, I just found it. I just found it.
Okay.
Right, right there. Okay, I'll freeze it and I'll bring it into the frame. You're gonna love this because it's what Greg is about to say, or what you're about to hear Greg say, really applies today. Okay, right here. This is the Oscar Grant shooting, downtown Oakland riot, January 8th, 2009.
Is there sound? Zenny, I wasn't able to hear what he said. Mm.
From a Rondell there, yeah. And then we ran into Larry after this. But I'll stop it right there. Well, no, I'll say.
Oh, Zenny, I can't hear this. I can't hear the sound from the video.
Marcie, you can't?
Mm-mm.
You can't hear the sound?
No.
Hold on a second. Let me fix that real quick. I don't know why. I hear Rose saying that same thing. I think if I go to audio and turn off echo cancellation, because it's considering that it thinks that's an echo is what's going on. All right. So now let me go back and try it again. Sorry about that. They used to not happen. They keep changing things on me. Okay, let's try that again. Can you hear that now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I said yesterday.
You heard that, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Awesome.
I thought as society advanced to where we weren't going to have this problem. And I feel like I'm wrong.
we sort of dodged the bullet during Rodney King era.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of did a thing. But, you know, this is like an indication of like the fact that we haven't had services. People are upset.
Yeah.
Don't get out and talk to people on a regular basis. I mean, we all know. And that's at every level.
That's right.
That's been with the mayor, that's with city off. That's been basically everybody. And this is what you get because then you come out and talk to people. People don't know you. There's no credibility.
Yeah.
There's no credibility. And so for Ron to get shouted down as an icon of his era, as somebody who, you know, going to jail now for now somebody to get out of jail, who stood on the, oh wow, that's the result.
Oh my God, look at this. I've never seen anything like this before.
So now a bunch of folks about to get arrested. Yep.
I want to get a pistol shot here. Hey there. What happened?
Where?
I mean, what we were talking. The mayor went inside.
Well, there's cars that are.
Okay. Hey, Larry.
Just what?
What happened?
So I'll stop right there and come back to Marcie. Thank you, Rosie, for letting me know. I showed that because
That was key.
Greg laid out
That was key.
an agenda.
Mm-hmm.
Now you see why. Well, gee, that could be today. And why didn't it happen? I would say, well, we had a pandemic, you know. Yeah, that's did the work for us in a sense, you know. But still, what he is complaining about or was complaining about then precisely applies to the Oakland of today, and this is 2024.
Yeah.
Nothing's changed. It's gotten, if anything, it's parasitical. It's spread. So how do you now? I went to the camera. I said, Larry, what's going on? He goes, and you know, Larry is deadpan. I don't know his name. Okay. Could very well be your job. how would you respond? Because he was D7 for a long time, and that's what you're running for, Marcie, right?
Yeah.
What do you think? Yeah. What do you think?
I think it's an opportunity to concern. I believe that we need to incorporate our churches. Because let's think about this.
Yeah.
We have churches who are sitting in District 7 communities around for 30, 40, 50, 60 years. They're not going anywhere. They're there. They're integrated into the community. They know who the neighbors are. Kids grow up. They have interacted with those around those areas. And we need to leverage our church. And you don't have to go to church. But we've got to incorporate church to helping us keep these streets clean. Talk and encourage young people develop programs that they can come to, so that we can curb a lot of the violence, curb a lot of what do you call it? Latchkey kids.
Latchkey, right.
Exactly. Providing programming. And in a way, dismiss one of the institutions that set Oakland and has watched Oakland's decline. And they need an integrative part of our planning. They need to be a part of the plan. We don't need people coming from outside Oakland securing contracts and not helping us solve the structural problems. And I believe that our structure needs to be and to build relationships and stay connected to the people here. They're not going.
Right. Absolutely.
We get people who come in hundreds of thousands of $millions contracts, and then you look around. Say 5 years they're gone.
Gone. Zip. Yep.
But our churches are. So we need to leverage that to build out a plan on how to deal with the three main issues that we're having right now, which is blight, homelessness, and economic development.
Yep, definitely. Definitely.
We already have churches that I have engaged with that are out once to twice out. There's a church one of the associations that were out 73rd in International, and there's just a load of
International Boulevard.
Right. Yeah. They were saying, piles and piles of trash, and they couldn't even rely on sending waste men or any truck take away it had collected and piled up. So that sat there for days.
Yeah, absolutely right.
These are the kind of challenges we have to have an effort where we're moving people towards planning, towards executing and getting things done, and then talking with our about how they receive help and support, and them are within distance. They are acceptable to their local church. So we definitely need to do that. I believe incorporate a lot of our residential programs. A lot of our residential programs have they already are in place. They're already licensed to work with trying to program feed and help stabilize a lot of our population where they're interested in they want to be safe. They want to get the service, moving them and transiting. So we have a lot of individuals who are committed, who wanting to see change in Oakland, and we just leverage those programs that exist that are already that can help to get a lot of the challenges that this.
If you win Who will be your first move as council?
My first move would be creating a visual
cue
is happening.
is
So it
happening.
would be out to do
So
a
we'd be out to
massive
do a map of
cleaning,
cleaning,
working with the city
city
to clean up a
to
lot
clean
of
up a lot of
tagging,
tagging and
getting a lot of
getting a lot
just kind of
along some support, working with,
of course
of course, Ken is running for,
We can
just,
but Ken has always been a
real support.
and in terms
And in terms of,
Wait, are you guys tag teaming? Is that why
Oakland?
are you? Oh, okay.
we support each other. So
Yeah. Ken's a good guy. You should put Ken on here.
Vacation project.
yeah,
Ken overdue visit.
yeah.
Hey, Ken. You come on.
But we have to
Psychologically let people know. Wait a minute, that street was like piled up with trash.
somebody's clean.
Yep.
Somebody's clean.
Somebody's doing something.
Somebody's doing something.
That
That identifies
things that we
things
can
that we can
resolve.
resolve. Number one, people just
Seeing a
being
problem
trash and saying, oh, let's dump some more trash.
but
Right.
And then
it's out of control. Enforcement.
enforcement.
People will begin to
People will begin to
understand
understand
what's
that
the law.
what's the law.
And if
Yep.
we
And
find
if we find that they're done,
we need to start
we need to start going
after. I mean, oftentimes
from other
dumping their trash.
trash.
So that would be my first cue. And push
Begin
is to move
towards identifying
areas in
which have
level
of
homelessness and to start to clean those areas up.
What kind of person will you hire to work for you?
go get
People who are not
looking to
like just sit on
their laurel
and not answer the
and
phone.
not answer the phone.
I run
my business there.
people know that.
People know that
If you work for
Marcie, that
if you because we know that
you're trained,
we know that
you
have a
really good work ethic,
and
you're gonna
you're
the leader.
Yep.
So that's
right.
what
I want is people
enjoy being
being around people,
need to
need to know people
who aren't
who aren't afraid
of
of getting their hands dirty,
and
people who
have to
have my staff to
realize
who our businesses are,
because
we gotta start getting on
how
business going.
how
How are your numbers?
Mm-hmm.
Are you
concerned with crime?
Are you
concerned with
the
the
response
response that
if
there's a problem?
we need to be able
We
to
need to be able to
identify
identify
where their gross
revenue
Right,
20,
right.
20, 30%,
Right.
and if you take into consideration that
the city of
Oakland should have this
liaison
liaison in
to
itself
work with the
to
business
work with the businesses.
they know
They
if
know
someone's leaving
leaving,
you
then
have
you have
work coherently
with other
crowd.
crowd.
We need to fill that.
We need to fill that space.
Mm-hmm.
Other cities do that. We don't.
We don't, for whatever.
Hey.
So understanding the data so that I can go back to my colleagues and say, look, this is revenue we're losing.
Right.
If we
are losing
10% in 6 months, business
those
that's revenue. And we need to be able to identify
those numbers,
how much
that
in and
correlate
so that people
understand this is impactful to the bottom line.
What we've
been doing is not working. We need data,
and we need
to know what's happening.
Why
our revenue decreasing or increasing?
Well said. Well said. Very well said. Now, how can one find out more about your campaign? Would you come back, because
Yeah.
I think and bring Greg. There's another story here that I think needs to be talked about.
Okay.
And it goes back to
Just clarification. Greg he's not a relative. He and David on the board together.
Okay.
I'm
single Hodge and then Hodges.
Ah, ha, got it. Boy, my pea brain is certainly active, isn't it? But at least I admit it's a pea brain, so there you go.
No,
No work.
but these
But these
are
are conversations
that
we need to have. I would want to do at some point symposium
so
so that we people who have worked on the field
talk
talk
about
about real goal engagement.
talk about
Talk
reading behind the lines. You know, sometimes people they may see Chuck Schumer crying. They crying in real life. So I
want to be
really
really
encourage
encourage young
to look at
offices,
not see
not
themselves.
see themselves.
We need to grow.
We need to grow our own. That's what they,
you know, they
were starting
process,
bring people on and board
how
to
engage
in the political process. Oftentimes we don't see
but we belong.
but we belong in it.
I gotta ask you also. Okay, shifting gears. What are your thoughts on the budget problem? Because I believe, and I haven't heard this, but well, I wanted to hear you first before I tell you what I believe. All right.
We've been down the road for at least 10 to 12 years.
Yeah.
You can Google and look at articles about they've got to deal with these issues now
because
otherwise
going to be
implosion.
And so
now we're we have
funded
funded liabilities
that
it has been challenged.
When I
was on the
community
college board,
the first
issues that we were dealing with was
like every
state
county
has been dealing with unfunded liabilities. How to manage
That's right.
those unfunded liabilities.
That's right. Yeah. It's been a big problem. Been a big problem. You're right.
They have
not been identified. If you are at this, there's no way balance budget in a way that it's going to make sense in the end. So I would say that the big thing is dealing with the unfunded liability because it's not filling a lot of departments. There's a lot of jobs that I feel we need to leverage technology so that audit those departments to see how can we employ technology and identify the areas bring in the revenue those areas up.
Right.
I'm not a proponent to always look to taxing
the residents.
That's like
I sat on the Oakland budget committee, and I remember and there was city council it was like a light and kind of beautification in certain areas.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the first thing
we got to on our local why would we do that? We've got to look at this bringing in that revenue.
Yep.
So why do you want to look at that? Why is the first option to tax the people?
And
that was like maybe six, seven.
Yeah.
So we gotta have people to understand
business. You have to have business structured in a way
in which we lead from a
business acumen. Because oftentimes have the right negotiate sit down at the table, negotiate deals for us. There's no reason policy the way that it does go to other cities. And those areas are robust, plenty of businesses, they're thriving hotels. It's just amazing to see Oakland right where they is, and we have not made really beneficial to residents.
Oh, now you did say, do you mean AASCG? So I'll touch on that. What are your thoughts regarding the Coliseum project, which really is how I look at AASCG, and then the mayor's move to attach that to a need to balance the budget. Because there are a number of people who believe that the project came only to balance the budget. I said, oh, no, actually, this has been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Right?
It's
unfortunate.
I put that
kind of
on an
on an
African
African who's coming in
Uh-huh.
because now everything is focused on them now. Action.
Right.
They
need to
sit
sit
down
down and
start
start
making
making
with that,
having to
try to
try to offset
the
the
third
bring the third party.
transaction.
Transactions.
I don't even understand that. It's
It's almost
tricky
to say
we
we might because of choice
and
because we don't get really who the majority of
Oaklanders want.
Hmm?
As long
as we have ranked,
city may need
to change that chart
and
and put it for the boulders
to
to ask for
either city
council that or city administrator the way
go back to
what we
used to have
because there's too much
opportunity
opportunity
to come in. And now she already
came into life.
but I think
when you're hot, but
you aren't
being very transparent. That's the problem.
You
Right.
can't
get the support
that you
need
and trying
to balance
your budget
find other revenue to offset your shortages. If trying to sit down, gonna always find trouble.
And I
think right now with the leadership that
under
under a lot of pressure,
it puts
a lot of pressure on African American who have been able to negotiate the bill. And I think they'll do a great job. Everyone on in that group has a real goal and want to see it rise. But we're a lot of tough decisions going to be made
in the next
2 years.
Where do you stand on recall?
I support recall.
Why?
You know, one of the areas in which I support recall is because you're giving it back to people. It's a tool. And so if residents want to use it, I don't care who is funding. But if it's there and people want to sign the and they support the recall, and that's the opportunity.
Yeah.
We've used it before as a great day. They wanted to recall it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not
that's called a conflict.
Right.
And that's something that we're doing.
It's every time it's like this is a conversation we need to again expand because we're at a really critical juncture. But for the present, and out of respect for your time, it's been a long, great discussion.
Yeah.
Even put myself to sleep and went into dreamland, dreaming about a place in Oakland, and was walking down the street. Only to have somebody say, "Zennie, wake up!" And I thought, I'm awake.
Your mom called before you went into that. You were getting ready to go to the DP Oakland.
I was walking, Hey, I was walking. That was wild, man. That was so wild. What is... what? My mom's cracking up over here. I didn't think I was asleep at all. I really didn't. It's just like, wow. It's like,
he's tired.
all right, my dear, what's your website?
My website is
www.
Yes, ma'am.
Hodge,
the number 4
Oakland.com.
The number 4. Oh, you're the first one to finally use 4 instead of no. It's F-O-R's any 4. Oakland. You don't know how many times I get that. I always think, oh yeah, 4, right? No, Zenny, no. It's like, finally, somebody does it the right way. Like that, right? Like that, right?
Yep.
Yay, I got it right. Woohoo, woohoo. Marcie, this was a heck of a lot of fun.
I have fun too.
Yeah, and we went on. And I'm supposed to Oscar Grant. See, well, with in fact, this gives me an idea. This whole thing gives me an idea. It really does. All right.
Okay.
To be continued. Marcie, don't move a muscle. Everybody, subscribe to Zennie62 on YouTube and bookmark OaklandNewsOnline.com, ZennieReport.com, and Zennie62blog.com. If you need reputation management services, Marcie's not a reputation manager client, by the way, but just so you know. But we're the best. Zennie62media.com. All right. That ends this broadcast. Marcie, you do not have to move a muscle. Thanks.
Thanks, Zennie.